He was charming, intelligent, trustworthy, but behind the face of Ted Bundy was a killer hiding in plain sight. Ted Bundy was born in 1946 and raised in Washington State. To everyone around him, he was normal. He studied psychology, worked in politics, and even volunteered at a suicide hotline. But beneath that calm personality was a violent secret. In 1974, young women began disappearing around college campuses in Washington. They were students full of life, and suddenly gone. Witnesses described a polite man, sometimes wearing a cast or arm sling, asking for help loading books into his car. He introduced himself simply as Ted. Once victims got close, they were abducted and murdered in remote locations. As the months passed, the disappearances spread across multiple states, including Oregon, Utah, and Colorado. Police struggled to connect the cases due to limited communication between states. But one detail kept appearing: a white Volkswagen Beetle. When Bundy was finally stopped by police in Utah in 1975, they found disturbing items inside his car: handcuffs, rope, and burglary tools. He was arrested. But what happened next stunned the nation. Bundy escaped custody twice. First, by jumping out of a courthouse window during a trial break. Then months later, by squeezing through a hole in his jail cell ceiling after losing weight. He fled to Florida, and that is where his most shocking crimes occurred. In January 1978, Bundy broke into a sorority house at Florida State University in a brutal overnight attack. He assaulted multiple women as they slept. Killing two, the crime horrified the entire country. Weeks later, he abducted a 12-year-old girl walking to school. She would become his final known victim. Soon after, he was arrested again during a traffic stop. This time, there would be no escape. His 1979 trial became one of the first nationally televised court cases in U.S. history. Millions watched as Bundy, confident and composed, chose to defend himself in court. But the evidence was overwhelming. Witnesses identified him. Physical evidence linked him to the crimes, and a bite mark on one victim matched his teeth exactly. The jury found him guilty. He was sentenced to death. In the years before his execution, Bundy gave partial confessions, admitting to multiple murders across several states. But investigators believe the true number of victims may never be known. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in Florida. His case changed the way law enforcement tracks serial killers, improved communication between states, and shaped modern criminal profiling. But perhaps the most chilling lesson of all is that evil doesn't always look evil. Sometimes it looks like someone you trust.